Class 8, as you know that we have started chapter COMET 2, and in COMET 2, as it is being displayed on the screen, we have read about the Datta's comet, that it is going to hit or it is going to collide the earth. So by the time he has returned from his London tour and has come back to India, but on returning India, what he has noticed? He has noticed that there was a crowd in front of his house, as his wife Indrani Devi, who was a bit superstitious in nature, she has organized a yajna in order to calm and in order to pacify the evil spirit behind this comet. Okay, so this is the reason but why she has organized. And but the Tatta, he was not at all, you can say, willing to sit in this kind of yajna, and as well as his, you can say, brother Shivaji Babu, he was trying to explain him the reason that even their ancestors, they are believing in these kind of practices, because comets, they are always associated with evil spirits. So this is the reason why he thought so. Now, finally, by the time he is also getting, you can say, letters from Sir John Macpherson, who is intimating him from time to time that the charge of the light brigade has begun. It means that the project has been started up. And how to start that project? That it was like spacecraft has been launched on time. Now the thing is that whether they will be successful in this experiment or not. So for this, here I am reading. Okay, Dutatta. From here, this point I am reading. Just see, Dutatta could not share his anxieties with anyone around him. He had to participate in and outwardly enjoy the puja ceremonies, the Diwali celebration, and other festivals. So at this time, Dutatta, he was not able to share his feelings as well as anxieties and worries with anyone, because this project was quite confidential in nature and he never wanted to discuss it with anybody. So outwardly means from outside he was participating in all the ceremonies like puja ceremonies, Diwali celebration, and other festivals of the house. His soul means his only daytime relaxation was in the company of Hoka, his 8-year-old grandson, and of course at night looking through Divya. So what he only enjoyed, what he only enjoyed was that his company with his grandson, whose name was Hoka, a bit, you can say, strange name. And he at night he used to sit at the rooftop and he would enjoy his, you can say, watching the night sky through his telescope Divya. He was regularly monitoring the comet, now clearly visible even to the naked eye. So daily he was observing this comet, and it was of course visible to the naked eye, means without telescope also one can see it with his eyes. And on November 18, a special messenger on a scooter from British Council brought in an urgent telex message for him. So on November 18, what happened? A special messenger on scooter, he was running, he was coming towards their house. Who was that? He was a messenger from British Council, means he is not messenger from British Council, sorry. He is bringing a message from British Council, and it was an important telex message for him. The telex operator in Calcutta had wondered what was so special about it to make it so urgent. Now, when the operator in Calcutta, who was owning this, you can say, telex machine, he read the message, he thought that there is nothing so urgent in this message. But why this message is made so urgent? So, but on reading it, the Tatta lost all his lethargy and rushed to his favorite Rasgulla shop. The message read, I am confident now of buying my Christmas presents on December 15, John Macpherson. So when the Tatta read it, he understood what it meant, because what was the message? In the message, it was written that I'm confident now of buying my Christmas present, that he is confident of buying his Christmas presents. But why he was confident of buying his Christmas presents? John Macpherson, why he said so? Yes, raise up your hands. Why he said so? Yes, Rhythm.
Because the new comet that is discovered by Dudatta has changed his path.
Has changed his path. Yes, Somil, what is your opinion?
Ma'am, as before, John Mafferson said that he was not buying the Christmas present due to because he was not sure that there would be survival on the earth or not. But when the comet changes path or evaporate in the solar system, he
Hmm.
confidently buy the Christmas present.
He has confidently bought the Christmas present. Now, beta, I'm again repeating those students who are entering the class and leaving, because at the end of the class, attendance is being taken, and so only your attendance will be marked. Okay, so be careful. Now, on this, so yes, this is the reason that when he read the message, it was written that what John Mapperson said that now I'm confident of buying my Christmas presents on December 15th. It means that he was sure that there will be no collision of earth with that of that comet. And on reading this, there was no bound to, you can say, the Tatta's happiness. He was so happy. He left all his lethargy. What is the meaning of lethargy? Lethargy means laziness. Okay, there was no bound for his happiness. He immediately ran to his favorite rasgulla shop. He bought some rasgullas and distributed in the family as well as to the family members also. And on December 15, Comet Datta came closer to the Earth at a distance of 80,000 kilometers. See, what happened on December 15? That Comet Datta, it came near Earth, but the distance was 80,000 kilometers. It was, of course, very large distance. Millions saw it and admired it. Number of people saw this comet and they appreciated it. They admired its beauty also. Only a handful knew how close they had come. They had come. Total annihilation. Okay, total annihilation. Annihilation means total destruction. So it is only, but only very few people they know. Okay, but only a few people know that how close they were to that kind of destruction, and finally they are being saved. So when Comet had gone far away and was seen no more, the Tatta felt it safe to make the following comment to his wife. So when Comet had gone away and now the Tatta felt that it was really very safe. Okay, then what he told his wife, see, now that the comet came and went, and you satisfied that no major disaster took place that can be attributed to it. Now he asked his wife, now you tell me, comet came and it passed the earth. And also, are you satisfied now that there is not any major disaster that come because of, you can say this, because of this comet? I agree that there has been no major disaster, but there could have been some. Now, what she said, she is still superstitious in nature. What she said, yes, I think I agree to this point that there is no major disaster, but there can be some. There could be some. हो सकता था कुछ भी. Do you know how they were averted? Averted means change their path. So she said, you know how they are averted? Indrani Devi said with quite confidence. Now, what do you think that how it has been averted? What was the point of view of Indrani Devi? What she thought that how it has been averted? That how it has been averted? What was the viewpoint of Indrani Devi? Yes, what do you think? How it has been averted according to Indrani Devi? Yes, who will tell me? Yes, Rhythm?
Ma'am, because she know that one day a comet will hit the earth and there is destruction too much in the earth
नहीं, नहीं,
due to the comet.
how that destruction was avoided according to Indrani Devi? Yes, Somil?
According to
By
Indrani
doing
Devi,
Havan.
destruction was avoided by that they performed the yajna by their 8-year-old Khokha.
Okay, so Kritika, what do you want to say? Same thing.
Ma'am, by doing Havans
Yes,
and
by doing yajna, it means that according to Indrani Devi, that yajna which was performed, it was of course responsible to drive away the evil spirit of the comet. So she believed this. Okay, it is your belief. Okay, it is her belief actually. Okay, so scientific reasons are on one side and religious beliefs, they are always on one side. Okay, so but actually what it was a natural one. She thought that it was because performance of her yajna that it has been driven away. Okay, so finally she was quite confident about that also. Now, Dutatta looked at her. Did she know? How could she? He had never mentioned Project Light Brigade to her. He probed, means looked cautiously. I don't understand what you mean. Now, Dutatta looked at her. She thought, he thought, did she know about Project Light Brigade? Then she thought, I have never discussed with him about Project Light Brigade. If she knowed, he looked carefully into her eyes. He wanted to know if she know, then what was that? And he asked her, what do you mean? It is very simple. Indrani Devi said, there were no disasters because of the yajna at our house. Again, she explained that no disaster took place in our house because of the yajna practice that we performed. But I never performed yajna. Don't you remember? I refused to have anything to do with it. Now, now Datta, what he said, yajna, I haven't performed any yajna. Don't you remember? I told you that I will not sit in this kind of any religious practice. I refuse to do anything. Of course I do. But we found a way out. At least Guruji did. He said that if you were unwilling to perform yajna, it would be all right if a descendant of yours did it. So we got Khokha to deputize, means in place of you, given the duty for you, and it has worked. Isn't Guruji clever? Indrani's voice had a ring of triumph. Triumph means reality. She said, yes, I know. You said that you would not perform any kind of yajna. Even I agree. But our Guruji is also very clever. He found a way out. So what he did, how he found the way out? He found a way out. He said that if you won't be able to sit in this kind of yajna practice, then any descendant, means any family member or your son or your grandson can sit. No, she said, so we made Khokha sit in that yajna and she performed that ceremony. The Tatta formed a mental picture of Khokha performing yajna, uttering mantras dictated to him, which he did not understand. So he imagined Khokha like it is seen in the picture also. He was imagining like how Khokha, his grandson, would be sitting. He would be putting those ahutis in the fire, and ultimately he is uttering all these, you can say speaking all these mantras, whose meaning he never understood. So, and finally, he also imagined pouring ghee at specific intervals into the fire, offering flowers, and he remembered how pujas are being held, that offering your flowers, offering some ghee into the fire after regular intervals. And then the picture changed to an assembly of scientists at the conference, analyzing the problem, devising means formulating solutions, executing them rationally and efficiently. So on the other side, what he was thinking, he was also thinking of that international conference, okay, where he was imagining that many scientists, they were sitting on the table, they were discussing the problem, they were making some solutions finally, and they were executing it rationally. Rationally means with some reasons, okay, executing some with some reasons, and finally efficiently they were trying to control this disaster. Now, it seemed hard to believe that both pictures were different aspects of contemporary human society. Contemporary means present. So at that time he thought, see, to one problem there are two different viewpoints. Which are the two different viewpoints related to this situation? Which were the two different viewpoints? Yes, raise up your hands. Which were the two different viewpoints? Yes, which were the two different viewpoints related to this situation? One was, yes, Somil, I'm going to unmute you. Yes. Which?
One was superstitious.
Superstitious one. Okay,
And
religious
other
one was
and
rational
other
one.
was
Yes,
yes.
another one was rational one, that is of scientists. It means to every problem there are two different viewpoints. One is the rational one and one is the religious one. The rational one, which is based upon understanding, which is based upon experimentation, which is based upon reasoning, okay, or rational viewpoint. And on the other side, we have religious beliefs also. Okay, so this science and religion, it is always contradicting. At one of the point I have read, and some of the book I have read, that see, yes, it is of course reality. Now, in space centers, now after you can say, after observing the position of stars, we will be able to find out the exact dates of, you can say, eclipse or whatever phenomena is going to happen in the universe. And our religious books, okay, that astronomy, they are making those calculations without observing anything, and they had made it before many days. How is this true? How true it is, right? So I think that there is a point to think. Don't you feel that there is a point to think? Okay, so these are always contradicting. Okay, so science is saying that they don't believe those things which are mentioned irrationally, but at some of the points these things are true also. So it seemed hard to believe that both pictures had different aspects of contemporary human society. It was really not acceptable, as well as you can say believable for Datta, that how he can observe these two pictures of human society at the present time. That at one time, one group of people, they have rational view, scientific view based upon reason, and on the other side, the people had what kind of, you can say, what kind of bent of mind, that is religious. They thought that the comet was averted from its path. It is because of the yajna or the havan kund they have organized at their place. The Datta was aware of the gulf that separates the rich from the poor, educated from the illiterate, privileged from the unprivileged. So the Datta, he was very much aware about the gulf. Gulf means the gap, the great gap. Which gap? That existed between rich and poor, that can never be fulfilled. Okay, that existed between an educated man and an illiterate man. Okay, and moreover, from the privileged and from the unprivileged. Privileged means the people who are enjoying various, you can say, facilities, and those people who are not enjoying any facilities. So it means, what it means? It means that there is a large gap between these, and this can never be fulfilled. This can never be filled up. This gap will remain as such. But this gap between the rational and superstitions seemed to him far wider. But when he thought of this kind of gap which existed between scientists and religious people having religious belief, he thought, he always thought that this kind of gap, it will never be fulfilled. Okay, because it is very wide gap and far more sinister. Sinister means which is far more very harmful. It is very dangerous, of course, because if people blindly believe in these kind of religious practices, they will never be able to find out new things in life. They will believe in what they have already, and they will be satisfied in that. New things are being formed, new things are being invented. It is only because of man's curiosity towards having more. Okay, and will human society ever exist, ever succeed in eliminating it? The Datta did not know the answer. He was just thinking whether human society will ever be able to eliminate this type of gap. He was not sure about that answer, because in a house, there are, in the Datta's house, two kind of people exist. One, like the Datta, who was having complete scientific belief, who believed that whatever is happening, it is because of science. And on the other hand, her wife, who was quite religious in nature, who never believed in the power of science. She never believed that science ever existed, or science had anything to do with that of, you can say, this kind of, you can say, the gap that has been created, or she even not was aware of the fact that there was any problem in the world, but which Datta knew. Okay, that there is any kind of problem in the world, and it is just because of that she thought that everything was finally happened, or everything was solved, or the evil spirits of the comet, they were driven away. It was just because of her yachna, but actually it was by chance, okay, that the payload need not to be detonated. It was not detonated because the comet passed some 80,000 kilometers away from the, you can say, 80,000 kilometers far away from their place. So this is what this chapter is all about. I really enjoyed it very much. What about you people? You enjoyed? Tell me, you people enjoyed? Yes, even I enjoyed it a lot. And this is a bit of this type of chapter you have read in your class 7 supplementary book also, that is Alien Hand. You remember that chapter? Young boy Tilu, whose father, they were living under the surface of Mars. Have you read that chapter? Have you read? Yes, of course. Okay. So this is what this chapter is all about. Okay. And finally, we are going to do the question answers. I think only one we will be able to do today. Okay. So what is the tatta? First of all, comprehension check from the previous pages. Let us do. Okay. Yes. Let me share on screen also. You just see, please. Yes, this is the comprehension check. Yes. For a comment, for a moment, James wondered if he had done his sums right. Why was James doubtful about his sums and calculations? Yes. Why was he doubtful about his sums and calculations? Yes. Why he
Ma'am,
was?
can I tell?
Yes, please.
James was doubtful about his sums and calculations because when James looked up from his window, a star-studded night sky, he knew somewhere amongst their stars was Comet Datta that was heading for a collision with Earth. It was hard for him to believe the calamity of the future could have an impact on such a peaceful night.
Because he was worried about his calculations, because he knew when he looked at the star-studded sky, he knew that among those stars there is, you can say, there is present that comet who with every second is, you can say, approaching towards the earth, and exactly after 10 months according to his calculations that comet is going to hit the earth, and that would be the last day of the earth if that comet would hit the earth. So this is the reason for, this was the reason, okay, he was worried about this kind of situation that is going to happen. And moreover, he was also trying to find out the countermeasure for that. Right? Clear this answer? Kritika, I haven't heard any answer from you for such a long time. Where are you? Just raise up your hand. Kritika, where are you? Yes, unmute yourself. Yes, you speak answers very well. What happened to you? Yes, Kritika. Unmute yourself. Yes, unmute yourself, please. I'm trying to unmute you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, now tell me what you have read in this chapter. Because when you speak so accurate. Yes, what you have read in this chapter?
We have read about an amateur person who really likes to look at the stars and everything. But once he got to know about a comet was about to hit the earth, and the survival of living beings was very difficult. According to his calculations, after 10 months, the comet was going to hit the earth and the earth was going to get destroyed.
Okay, right. Thank you. Actually, I just want to listen that whether you have grabbed the chapter or not. So that's all for today, as the time is not permitting us. So tomorrow we will discuss the question answers of this chapter.